this.
What happened?
I have icons that will pop up whenever somebody talks. I need to get a screenshot of your character and carve it out in Adobe Photoshop so I can add you to my harem. But like on my stream, I took a screenshot of Mama Neko's character off the lodestone, cut it out, and then whenever I talk, my icon or my avatar of myself will light up and bounce. And whenever you talk, your Discord icon will light up and bounce. And then Mama Neko's can. I found a site called reactive.fuji.tech. So it's actually pretty darn cool.
So what do I need to do? I got these like thing over my head. 3, 4, 3, 4.
Oh, that's how many steps that you're gonna take.
Okay, well I'm dead now. So.
It's okay. There's a lot of people that are dead.
True. Yeah, nobody's been shitty. Dying a bunch. I ain't worried about it.
If you're doing that stuff, I got like a bunch of those things, like the bonus things. I can dig up and give to you. There's like some actions or whatever it is.
Huh. I don't know if any of that stuff's tradable.
There is something that is tradable. I know we've given each other stuff for, because you can put it on the market board.
No item's gonna save me from not what I need to do though, not knowing the mechanics.
Yeah.
Because it all it is, it's either insta kill or it's a twice come ruin. It,
Hey, that's one of my favorite theme songs.
Can't buff my way out of that. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just know.
Hey, doggos. Uh-oh, I got both dogs and then the cat. We got a cat. I think I sent you pictures of the cat, did I?
I don't remember.
They're all having a Mexican standoff of who gets to sleep on the pillow that's in my closet.
What the heck? I did the stuff. I took the steps, and I still got Doom. What does this game want from me? Does it need more money? Do I gotta throw more money at the game in order to live? Is that do I have to pay Yoshi P to remove Doom debuff?
Oh, did you catch up the ultimate cheating thing?
I heard about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
I mean, so it's the one plugin that I won't use, right? Like I'll use the one plugin that'll like say Tank Buster, or something like that.
I mean, I don't judge you for using plugins, dude, because you're not going for world first. You're not like trying. You're not setting out to make an achievement. Like a special achievement, like we're the first. You're not setting out to be like, oh, I'm the first one clear it in the whole world.
The thing about it is when that stuff comes out, there are no plugins that help you, except there is one that unlocks your Z buffer, which lets you ultimately zoom out. And you can even flip it upside down and look at the mechanics from upside down, and it lets you see off-scene things, like because a lot of to decrease loading times for like characters that pop in or out, they'll put them in like a secret location, but load them up in memory. So they're in memory so they can pop up anytime so they don't have to load it. And there's other stuff that you can do, but it is, in my opinion, the arena and the zoom is designed to work to a certain extent, right? But unlocking the Z buffer is making the game do something that it doesn't or shouldn't do.
Yeah.
The guys that I was in the group with during the last Ultimate were using the hell out of it. And, I could tell it was apparent because this one guy wasn't dying to a particular mechanic that requires you to look at all of the Heavensward and then figure out where the safe spot is. That you just zoom out and bam, you can easily see the safe spot instantly. It's the one piece of pizza that doesn't have roaches on it, right? And that's where you go. But he was pretending to be all high and mighty, like, quit fucking up, blah, 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 blah. And he slipped up on one of his, because he was recording VODs, and we went to go review a VOD. So here's what they also started doing, too. I did some troubleshooting once, and I rarely do the witch hunt troubleshooting, right? Like where you record the VOD, and then you go back and watch it to see what happened, because sometimes you need to do that to understand. If you're constantly dying on this one part, you need to understand what's going on. Well, they started going on doing it, you know. While it was them, there was like almost 6 people replaced, like 4 people that were replaced, I think. And I'm like, dude, you can't just keep replacing people. And by the time they actually cleared, I think there were maybe two or three of the original members in the group. And I'm like, that's what happens when you keep replacing people, you know?
Yeah, no good. How, like, every time you bring in a different person, aren't you like losing all that progress that like you made with all those other people? I mean, yeah, like you might still know those fight, but like you were just doing it with other people and they had gotten, you know, like a certain amount of information down about it, and it's like, okay, well, you're bringing in another person now, and now like you're like this is like, if okay, maybe they're at the same level, maybe they're not, like maybe they're starting from scratch. Lose all that progress that was made and all that effort, like that was just done is for nothing. Like, what is the point of that?
Yeah. And see, I got tired of a couple things. The first thing I got tired of was, you know, when I was with other groups, there were some people that wanted to be there and some people that didn't want to be there. Well, I wasn't gonna necessarily kick anybody out, but
I want to raid with people. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But that kind of burned me a little bit, but what burned me the most was, you know, I was doing all the recruiting and then helping people out with the initial thing. And then it was like, these guys were just, you know, using my, my pool of people as a recruiting center for their own stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? No. Go.
I feel like the best way, like for me, like I think that I would prefer to raid with would be to play with other PlayStation players and not PC players. Like that way I'm not in a group of people with plugins. Like I'm not worried about my damage being heavily criticized or anything, but like it just, I don't know. That way people aren't, I feel like there's less room for drama. People aren't going to be critical, you know, as much about each other. Like if somebody's really, you know, doing shitty, it will eventually, it'll be like apparent enough, you know, because it's like we'll be hitting enrage and whatnot, and you know, like eventually, like, you know, I feel like it'd be, I feel like it'd be relatively obvious who it is, like, or not, like maybe not who, but like what the problem is and what needs improvement, like, or how things need to be improved, you know. So yeah.
So it's like this. The way you got to discuss it. You got to discuss.
Yeah, I'm not really worried. I'm kind of I'm really confident with my red skill at this point, like damage wise.
Yeah, all you got to do is just get in the door. You'll be fine. You were fine back in the day. You're fine whenever you popped in. You know, just hop in. You know, just do stuff. This far in the game. Or this far in the game, like what's that?
I'd like to work with a party that's all PlayStation players, just doing blind runs, figuring out mechanics together in a voice chat. It's like as if we were like doing a day one clear. Now I would want to do this ultimate stuff, but like with the savages, it's like figuring it out and getting the mechanics as a team. And like when one of us figures out one thing, explain it to the rest of the team, and then we all learn from that as an experience, rather than just one person coaching everybody else. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's more of a team thing and not like a I don't know, team thing.
Yeah.
Like everybody, you know what I mean? And that way everybody's using the same fucking hardware. No third party tools. Like
Well,
that.
Even without the third party tools, it's this. You have to use the meta strat. You have to use a Hector Lecture strat, or you have to use an Ilya strat, or you have to use a Happy strat. Happy
I don't know what
Brambles.
those are.
Those
Those words are gibberish to me.
Yeah, those are all the YouTubers that make how to clear guides. Yeah, no.
I mean, I've seen YouTuber how to clear guides, but none of those words make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, if you look at strats, you'll see people talk about like different things. Like there was one strat called Happy Brambles, or there's another strat called Ilya. Ilya is one of the best world first racer people that are out there. But they yeah.
What are you working on right now?
I am waiting for Mama Neko. Bobby.
I am out of.
You're in a cutscene. Are you listening to the cutscene?
Bro, I gotta show you this glam of mine. Where are you at? Are you in Thavner?
I'll go back to Radzit.
Wait, no, don't go to. No, don't go in town because I want to show you it with the mount that I got. That's the best way to show it off.
Well, I am at Palaka's stand.
Okay, stay there. Coming to you. You're gonna love this shit. I fucking know it. This is my.
Oh, now I gotta get a screenshot. Wave again.
I'll just keep doing it until you get the right.
Okay. All right. Now I can get your icon done. Photoshop. File. New.
I don't know which version I like though. If I like the version of the fit better, or if I like it with the other head. So I got the goggles. This one. Which one's better?
I like it without the goggles.
Without the goggles. I go back. I'm like so back watching on it. Yeah, so I love Red Mage. I've been falling in love with it recently.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple class to play, and you get quite a bit of recovery with optimization. Here we go.
Damage supports too. Embolden. Like a 5% damage increase for the entire party for 20 seconds. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the whole being able to heal other people and heal myself, shit like that. Oh my god, that is so clutch. Like,
well, also you don't have to worry about like the spell speed thing. Oh, come on,
yeah.
Object selection tool.
Oh, hey, watch. Let me check this out. Want to see my? Are you looking at my character? Let me know when you're looking.
Give me 1 second here.
Dumb thing I did.
I can't fucking believe this thing. It caught everything but your armpit.
What? What does that even mean? The armpit got cut out?
Yeah, it
Because
caught
it's all
everything.
green.
I was trying to capture the tank with your screenshot, but let me see if I can just capture your upper torso.
Wait,
It
here,
won't.
just when
It will not capture your damn. Oh,
use that. This is a better glam anyway.
all right, let me get you against a dark or a dark background. Let me go to first person perspective.
Yeah, let me change.
Okay. All right, there we go.
This mount glam combination, I worked months for doing that stupid dwarf quest to get the stupid tank. But I've leveled up my a lot doing it, so I'm happy for that at least. I'm kind of leveling my crafters now a little bit, sort of.
Oh, let me know if you need help with that. I mean, I've got everything capped, so if you need like get some HQ junk.
Thanks. I have no idea what I would need. I've been just doing firmament trabs to level my crafters so far, and the turn-in, the delivery shit. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need me to move somewhere?
Oh no, I've already got it. I've already got it cut out too.
Okay, cool. See, the lighting in this zone is shitty right now because sunset. The time of day, it's always fucking nighttime or dusk in this game. It's never fucking daytime, like
Yeah.
ever. Why can't the night cycle should be half as long as the day cycle? The day cycle needs to be twice as long as it is. The day-night cycle should be 45 minutes. Half an hour of it is daytime, 15 minutes of it is night. It shouldn't be 50-50 night-day. Nobody fucking wants shit. I don't want 50. Well, I don't even want 15 whole ass minutes of night. Make nighttime in the game 5. The day cycle 30 minutes long or something. I don't know. That would be better. It just feels like it's always fucking night, and I'm like, especially when I'm trying to get photos or do cuts, and I'm like, God damn it!
Can't you use G-Post to like turn like the stuff on?
I mean, in the G pose, yeah. I'm talking about just like cutscenes or anything in general, like running around, and I'm like, God, it'd be really nice if it were fucking sunny. But because I'll just be doing like story stuff, and it'll be like, oh well, it's gonna be nighttime the entire time. You know, like I'll be questing, and it'll be nice in daytime. And then I go to fucking pee, and then I come back, and I'm like, oh god damn it, now I gotta continue this, and it's night. It makes no sense continuity wise. I don't know. It's just inconvenient when everything's dark as shit all the time. For no reason. Oh, we got our day-night cycle herded there.
Yeah.
Gotta keep our day-night cycle. Like, I don't know. I think it should be controllable to an extent. I feel like every game should make it control whether it's night or day in the game at a certain time, even if it's an online game like this. Like, yes, make it in the canonical current time. Like, you know, like, yeah, Eorzean time is still 6:47 p.m. But, you know, I want the fucking sun to be out, so just let me have the fucking, like, why are you denying me the sun right now?
Yeah.
You know, and weather control. Like it would just be so nice. I don't know. Maybe that kind of takes fun out of the like. Maybe that in a way it can take fun out of the random MMO online. You know, you're in a world elements, kind of make it less immersive, I guess. But still, most of the time it's just irritating. I'm rambling.
It's okay. I'm attempting to pretend like I know how to Photoshop.
I just need a bitch case. You volunteered yourself. You told me to jump in voice chat.
All good. There we go.
Oh well, do you feel like doing anything? Have you attempted Mount Ordeal's game yet?
Not the hard mode, not the extreme mode.
Let me know when you want to do it. I want to do it with you.
Okay. Make sure to use protection.
Well, I will.
Let's see. Need to delete this one. Yeah, I'm trying to get Mama Neko all caught up.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
If you like, so I know like some classes are bad for damage.
What's
like,
that?
like if I were to like hug Savage content, like if I get to the point where, like if I decide to finally just say fuck it, you know, like because I've been thinking about getting into rating. I really have been, but I want to do it as a red mage. So my question is like, am I gonna get kicked out of being a red mage if I'm joining?
No, red mage is one of the key. You know, so like a lot of people play black mage, right? They'll actually prog the fight as red mage.
Yeah, but I'm talking about clear runs. Like I'm going for clear runs. I'm not talking about running. I'm, you know.
Oh yeah. Like they only switch to black mage when they're ready to optimize. That means optimization means they want to parse.
Yeah. Okay. But like just doing it in general. So okay, so nobody's gonna parse as a red mage. So they're gonna switch over to a different class, basically.
No, people will parse as red mage. I mean, the key thing about it is the good thing and the bad thing is they've homogenized all the classes. Anything is capable of doing everything in the game. Can some things do everything slightly better than other things? Yeah.
I mean, am I gonna get discriminated against
No.
for only a red mage? Like, you know, ready to go, souped up, all my gear maxed out.
No, right now the only class that's getting that is Bard, and you know, that's the only class that's really getting the we don't want you treatment.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's important to me. That's what I need to know. Like, I don't want to go into content. You know. Oh, well, we don't like the class you're playing, so we're just gonna, you know, we don't really want you, so bye. You know. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if that's what you were insinuating or not. So I was...
No. So red, yeah. I mean, Neko plays red mage. I'll take her in any day. I mean, the healers will love you too because hey, guess what? You get the heals.
Yep.
Or you get the raises.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, pretty much.
All right. Finally got this whole picture thing done. Let's export it. All right, export as PNG. Transparency export. Cool. I can configure your person. No file chosen. Go. There we go. Save and save. Bam. Refreshify this browser source. What the fuck?
What wrong?
Okay. Save.
Hmm?
It didn't like update correctly.
Thought you were.
Huh?
I'm kidding. I thought you were.
I'm
I'm
just,
joking.
just waiting for it to finish saving your image. Unexpected type is not JSON. Oh. Oh, that's because that dash is a regex escape character.
Maybe it's because you saved it as a JPEG when it should have been saved as a GayPeg. Me.
Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. Saved it as escape it. No. Okay, now let's see if this will
Really
work.
crack piece.
So it had a dash in it, and here we go. The name had a dash in it. I think that is why it didn't work.
Don't know. Like, I don't even know exactly what you do.
Oh, so
I have no idea.
here, you got your phone? I'll show you a screenshot of what I'm working on.
Sure. I think it has something to do with your Discord. I don't understand.
So on my stream, there we go.
Oh, is my voice coming through on?
Oh yeah, everybody's voice is coming through on the stream. So what I did is I took my character and Neko's character and cut them out, and then whenever I talk, my character lights up and bounces whenever Neko's does too. So it uses your default Discord icon. So I took character screenshots of people that I commonly play with and just plug them in there.
Oh. So wait, are you using my Discord one, or are you using one of, or are you using the photo you took?
I'm trying to use the photo.
Yeah, you can use the Discord one. I like that one. The middle. Actually, what you ought to use is, you should use my Adventure Plate one. That's probably the best version. I need to update that. Let me do that. Let me update it real quick before you, if you do try to do that one.
Okay.
Come to. Yeah, let me do let me change the background. Current gear. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna switch the background to a different one. I don't like that color for this. What on? Why?
Oh man, it just failed for Discord. Hey, you failed for Discord.
Ooh, okay. Hold on, I think I'm about this.
Oh shit. It's offline.
What is? What happened? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, the site.
Okay, I was like, damn, it really is offline.
Needs me to log in again. Yeah, just want to. Authorize. Oh well, I'll leave it. Mama! Bobby! What you working on? Come on, let's go do content. Are you going to sleep? You sure? Alright. I'm gonna go do something at least once before logging off, okay? But I'm gonna make you come to Final Fantasy breakfast. Alright. She fell asleep. So I will leave the party. I will invite you to party.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Probably sex or something.
I mean, that was a given. Like,
Yeah.
what else are we doing?
We could do. You want to do have you done the new alliance raid?
Yes, I have. Have you?
Yeah, I need a drop, so maybe we can do that.
Same. I haven't done it this week. The week's almost over, so I should probably. Yeah, let's do it. No.
Wait time 14 minutes. Oh, fart that, man.
Wait, yeah. Let me switch role or something. I'll heal or yeah. I'll just go as a white maid. And all right, yeah. This will get us in there quick. I think. I don't really need any shit for my red mage anyway. Like I really don't need mage anyway. So
Yeah, there we go. 7 minutes. We're in the next party. that's hopping up.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Diggs, by the way. What's going on, Diggs? Just checking chat here. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Plus browser. This stinking mabobbin thing is not stinking mabobbin correctly.
Sure. There I go. This is a screenshot.
Okay. Good. I'll cut that out. I think the website's like offline or something. I hope because I'm using. Okay, log in. Authorize. Farts. Farts and poops and poops and farts and farts and poops. It's awesome because I haven't tanked this yet, so I literally have been playing Machinist because it's easy mode, lazy mode. No positionals. Excellent personal DPS. Your DPS is not dependent on another class, you know, for like good common base DPS. So nor does it provide anything to other classes other than some protection. You got two you've got the standard tactician that Bard gets too for the role. And then you have their disassemble or whatever it is that lets you do the basically any damage coming from your target that you cast it on 10% lower. So
Motion detected at the door can.
Diggs, what's going on with you tonight, buddy? Me and Knox are in chat. Oh shit, it let me back in. Finally. Fucking finally. Okay. Are you still there, Knox?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
That's like the one name that I just can't stop calling you.
You're good. I don't really care.
Okay.
It's so dumb that you can't choose the time of day in G-Pose.
Yeah, and I hate the fact that it will not allow you to, I hate the fact that it does not allow you to, remove backgrounds. There, as far as I know, there's no chroma key option.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great too. I've never seen one. Dude, there's a lot of like this game has so many features, but it's like, and they're so close, and like a lot of them are so close to being perfect. Couple like small things you could easily do, but they don't because they're just unaware. They spread the net so wide. Shit that they're adding.
Mm.
Yes, or they don't like. I don't, they need to feedback more certain stuff, not just like good bad reception. You know what? Oh, they don't like this. Oh, they do like this. Need to like. They need to fucking go to Reddit and read the goddamn comment sections.
Yeah.
My god.
Dude, my buddy actually had his license plate says Reddit. He did it as revenge because he got kicked out of the Reddit, Jack's Reddit group.
Out of the what? Reddit group?
So everybody has like a local Reddit meetup group for like their city. And everybody has the local meetup group for their like city, right?
Everybody like what in the game or?
Well, no,
Or everybody.
yeah, everybody on Reddit. Like, there's like a Jacksonville Reddit or a Dayton Reddit, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds totally safe and something that to attend and bring your children to.
True story.
Slash S, by the way. You know, since we're talking Reddit.
So the funny thing is I actually I almost got kicked out of a bar at a Reddit meetup. Apparently puking in the lobby trash can is frowned upon by the barkeep. He would have rather had me puke outside the front door. But I'm like, dude, people have to walk past that. Like, this is in a container. It is minimized, localized, contained in a trash can.
Was there a bag?
Yeah, there was a bag and everything. And there was a lid to the can too. And I got like 90% of it in there. Nothing hit the floor. I got a little bit of puke on the rim. And then the barkeep comes out and he's like, what the fuck, man? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, you're the one that served me 11 beers. Now, these aren't regular beers. These are 24% alcohol beers. Or no, it was 9. It was 9 beers. So, you know, I did that like really, really fast. I mean, it tasted like root beer with rubbing alcohol in them. So it was just because everybody got the drinks and they were too strong for everybody. This place is called Ardwolf. And yeah, so all I remember, the only drink I can remember the name for was a hipster lollipop. But it was just all like different craft beer that was like high gravity stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And I haven't beer in a minute.
I've been cutting back the drinking stuff. 'Cause
I've just gotten into wine and like seltzer and like wine and seltzers and the occasional whiskey, like specifically Fireball. You know what
Gotcha.
Fireball is really? Have you ever tried the Werther's caramel candy with Fireball like simultaneously? It is fucking best. The cinnamon whiskey and like and the sweetness of like the caramel from the candies and like it like kind of melts the candies a bit and it's like got the chewy inside and like the caramel is God, it's so good. It's like such a great combo.
Gotcha. Let's see. Okay, cool. I actually got this thing to work like properly.
I died so many times in that DR run. Oh my God, dude. It had to have been it had to be at least 20 different times, maybe close to 30 deaths. Maybe probably closer to 20. God damn, I've never died that many times in a run of anything. Except for probably the first time I did DR. I did res one other person once.
Oh, okay.
I'm a winner at the end of the day.
Oh, yay, I got the thing to work right.
And I did damage too. I got to cast a few spells. Get a couple of hits in. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you a screenshot of what it looks like when you're talking.
Oh, okay.
To light your character up, your character will bounce.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen what you're talking about, like other stuff before.
Yeah, I just figured to start doing that because it covers up the fact that I'm a fat, ugly asshole.
I feel you, dude. If I were to do like a stream, I'd also do like a VTuber model thing.
Yeah,
unless
you're a hot chick with big fat boobies. You know, like
maybe I will be one day without the bullshit, but it's taking forever to get there.
Yeah. So
I don't exercise, and I have still not actually started taking hormone replacement because I don't have fucking health insurance yet.
I thought that's covered by Medicare now.
I think it is, and I don't have Medicare yet because I got to go apply. I got to go apply for Medicare. If I can find the fucking time of day on one of the days that I'm actually, I should have some days off this coming week. I'm going to go apply for it as soon as I have a day off. As soon as I'm able to. Like, the earliest day off, that's not Sunday. I'm off Sunday.
Gotcha.
That's because I had to work a double yesterday.
Speaking of cutting body parts and surgery and stuff like that, I have to go get surgery.
No, I'm not doing all that shit.
You're not going to do that? Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't need to like cut anything off of anything. Like that. I mean, some people do, but that's not. I don't have that. I don't have dysphoria with that. Like,
okay.
I'm not worried about that. To be honest, like some trans people do, some trans people don't. I see gender and sex as two different things. Because gender being a social construct,
that makes some sense.
Like there's a whole thing I could explain. Like there's an entire like thing around it. Like
so people are upset about like medical professionals asking gender assigned at birth because they shouldn't do that. But it's necessary. People that are biologically born a woman don't get testicular cancer, and people that are biologically born a man don't get ovarian cancer. There's things like that just, we're far off from like fully converting over.
Okay, well, hold on a second, dude. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I know what you're saying, but I also got some disagreements with the way that you're stating certain things. Not entire disagreements, but I shouldn't even say disagreements. I should just say damn it. Of course the Q pops when I gotta piss. All right, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna be
okay. Go for it, man.
There's so much, man, that you don't. Somebody back.
Yo. Yeah, we're back in queue. Somebody else left the not us.
Cool. Yeah, I hit commence, but then ran to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. We're about to hop in queue again, but yeah, you were saying some stuff. So go ahead and
I mean, you got to think of sex and gender are two different things. You got to separate the two in your mind. Gender being a description of the social constructs that we build around what we expect out of people, what we project onto people based on their sex. But gender is also not the same thing. Gender is the social construct that we anticipate other people to fill based on the genitals and secondary characteristics based on, very numerous amounts of scientific lines of, things that vary for every individual. It's such a complicated thing.
Yeah,
I'm not good at describing it because there's so many different levels to it. It's I start to talk about one aspect of it, and then I trail off into another, and then the next thing you know, I'm fucking valid. So I'm not good at explaining this stuff. The better thing for me to do would just be to send you some information on it that's a lot more easier to understand and a lot more better laid out. I'm just not good at conveying complex information like that.
Well, the way I see everything, and I've been a member of the community before. I won't go into detail, but you can probably because and Neko knows about that. I spent some time in the past
I actually don't.
Doing
I actually don't.
Well, that's just
I don't know.
us.
What do you mean?
There was some time spent in the LGBTQ community.
Okay, but that there's a number.
I spent some time.
That can mean that can mean. I don't know if you mean you had experiences sexually, or if
the last dudes I made out with was a 3-way makeout session with John and Chris.
Okay,
so,
but I mean, but that's LGBT community. I mean, the thing is, LGBT is such a broad spectrum. That could mean you're gay, or it could mean that you're trans.
I'm just trying to find a politically correct way to say it, because I don't want people to get upset about it. It's just I tried the lifestyle, but for me it wasn't it just turned out not to be the thing. It after being around and thinking through stuff.
That's fine.
It just turned out
Yeah. I mean, LGBTQ stands for a lot of different things.
There's the plus now that extends. But yeah, like, you know, I wasn't really meaning to try to say that. I was just trying to say it like in a politically correct way. But, you know, I spent some time, you know, trying out other ways of life, you know, and is this right? Is this good? You know, do I like this? Oh shit, I'm the tank. I guess I'm tanking this.
Well, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's just, yeah, there's so many different ways you could to be part of the LGBT community. I didn't know what what, you know, way you had entered, like, you know, I didn't know if it was, I didn't know if you were gay, if you were bi, or if you were, you know, trans, non-binary, asexual. Like, there's so many different things. Like,
you could probably say, you know,
that I could
experimented with the bi stuff, but
probably heal you, shouldn't I? That'd probably be good.
Oh yeah, I should heal myself too. I'm just running my mouth too much. But yeah,
right.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to kind of have a centrist understanding, like the understanding that I would expect out of somebody who doesn't really have an interest, you know, in these topics, which is, you know, not really a problem or anything.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much that you don't know that, like, I would like to tell you about, some kind of help, give you clarification on different things, because, like, you'll learn about not just like LGBTQ stuff, you'll learn about life stuff in general, like based on a lot of the experience and understanding of, you know, like you'll get a deeper understanding of humanity learning about this stuff more so, especially when it comes to trans. You will learn a lot more about what it is just to simply be human.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, I don't think you kind of realize how just weird it is that we shove human beings in categories, you know, man and woman, and expect everybody to just, you know, fit into those two boxes, cram people into based on the genitals that they're born with. And that, you know, doesn't work, and it's harmful for a lot of people, you know, there are non-binary people, you know, there are trans-masculine people, there are feminine people, there are transsexual people, and transgender people, you know. There's so many, you know, different ways for human beings to exist that we don't think about, and we're just not traditionally used to considering, you know, as normal, because just the way that our culture is dominated, the way that we view categories, and, you know, science has come a long way and we've learned a lot more about this stuff, and yeah, concepts of man and women, and, you know, especially being strictly tied to sex, does not always work. It's really harmful, and that's kind of what my you know, like that whole point is sort of my main thing I want to emphasize about my, like, based on my part of the LGBT, and as a trans person myself, and like what I've learned from other people who are also trans, you know, it, like, when I was younger, I would have never understood this stuff or believed in this stuff. Like, it took a long time for this stuff to make any sense to me. But, and I'm dead. Dang, she hasn't gotten me in a long while now. But that's like basically a brief introduction. You know, just how confused even people who are cisgender are on gender stereotypes. Like, because what you're really doing is you're forcing people to live a stereotype based on the fucking sex organs in their pants. And it can be pretty shitty for a lot of people. Like, for a lot of people it works. Maybe the majority of people it works. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
Not that
well, I am a firm believer in everybody should be what they want to be.
I'm a trans woman, and I'm not saying that I'm a cis woman. There's a difference between trans woman and cis woman, but it's not like, you know, like enough. Like, it's not in a way where it would warrant discrimination in any way at all. Like, and that's a conversation that a lot of people are really scared of having.
Yeah. You know, I the way that I let me see if I can explain this right. I don't want to be an asshole. I don't mess with the way anybody feels or how anybody sees themselves. I can't do that. Even going to church and all that stuff. Like I still don't mess with the way people see themselves. That's.
Well, I don't think of you as like a hardcore religious person.
Nah, like I have a lot of dear friends that are whether they're trans, whether they're gay, whether they're bi, whether they're what's the term, non-binary, right? Like,
yeah, trans. The word trans, that's an umbrella term for all of that.
Yeah.
So to make it easy for you.
So I believe if I believe I can be however I want, then I have to extend that courtesy to people. It's only logical, right? So like I will never force somebody or hate somebody, mess with somebody, even mess with their rights.
It's not in your nature. Like I know you well enough to know that you're not a hate. And I don't think you could hate somebody unless they like really did something actually.
I think that like a lot of people in the religious circles like tend to they just tend to hate quite a bit of stuff. Like I'll give you an example, like Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like I had my first panic attack when I was 13 years old. I thought I was possessed because of my grandparents were like, oh, that is the evilest thing in the world, blah blah blah, you're such a bad person, you're a terrible person for D&D. Yet my sister was a teenage pregnancy under the age of 18, right? And she got like all the oh, it's okay, so we'll support you, we'll help you. But I was the most evilest thing in the world because I chose to do this thing that I wanted to do. And I kind of look back at that, right? That's not how like the whole thing's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, oh shit, I'm about to die so hard. Oh man. I'm trying to tank to keep everything together. So I just view that, because people pick things like that. That in no way scales up to the thing that, people that, are for other sexual lifestyles other than straight, right? Oh shit, come on, Tanks. That in no way can compare to the struggle that queer. Yeah, there's no way that can compare to that struggle, but it's a glimpse basically about how wrong it is to use religion to hurt people or to shame people. It is, and like every religious body that I've gone to, we do not do that. We do not say, hey, you can't come here or be a member if you're trans, if you're gay, or anything like that. Because,
Yeah.
We don't
the goals. Yeah, that's good. Glad for that. I mean, I wouldn't think that you would attend an organization.
There is a church here in Jacksonville that they're making every member sign a card. Like
sign a what?
Sign a card saying that they
aren't gay or something?
No, that they're basically. It was a huge thing. Weird. And I'm like, well, okay, we're gonna get some new members.
Yeah. What do we do for this?
Stop moving for fire.
Stop attacking too, I guess.
Yeah. Just hit the Z key if you're on a keyboard. Or if you're on PS4, that's like the common. Yeah.
Not do whatever yours does, I promise.
Here's Pyretic. We got 15 seconds.
What do we do?
Let's see. Yeah, we're in about 8 seconds if you have the Pyretic. All right, stop. All right, there we go. Yeah, my buddy got kicked out of his house because his mom found out about him and his friend that was living there. You know, they had a relationship, and it's like, man, that's not cool.
Yeah. I'm a little bit. God damn it! They have. Who was it? Done it? Was it?
Oh, stand in purple. Purple strain. You know, it's the golden rule, right, man? Like we learned in kindergarten. Treat everyone regardless of the way they choose, regardless of the way they identify, regardless of the way they want to be, what somebody wants to call themselves, what somebody feels like they are, what somebody is. You know?
Don't take this the wrong way. I'm surprised that you're a religious person.
What's that?
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm actually a little bit surprised that you're a religious person. Just, to me, in my mind, I'm a little bit obsessed. I watch like a lot of astronomy and stuff, astrophysics, you know, lots of Neil deGrasse. You know, yeah. I'm really curious about space, shit like that. And that's the kind of stuff that like kind of did in my ability stuff. I'm surprised you never went down that route a little bit.
Oh, I watched.
To me, it's like, I don't know why, but like that. I mean, I do know why, but like that kind of stuff just like my ability.
Oh yeah, I watch. You know, I keep up with all the space programs. You know, look. My belief is this, right? Like, so God exists, right? All right. So, would it be easier to believe in a? We need to be moving. Would it be easier to believe in an intelligent being that creates an existence that makes sense, or for just to magically create a magicy thingy that cannot be explained?
I don't think I wouldn't explain it with magic at all.
Well, yeah, not even magic. Just make a mysterious existence, right? That isn't explainable by things like science.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I think of the universe. Like, think about how complicated, wild it is that you have eyeballs. You know, eyeballs are really, really complicated things. How did eyeballs come in? God or something didn't create them, knowing that we would need eyes in order to see the world around us. But there's a scientific explanation for how when cells are replicating DNA, when the progenitor things, whatever they're called, I forget exactly. When they print DNA, reprint, errors are made called variants, and those variants either good, and they can be beneficial, or they can be detrimental. We tend to call the detrimental ones. They're all mutations, but they're all variants.
Yeah.
So started classifying. A lot of people think that mutations must always be bad, and that's simply not the case. New information can be created from mutations that changes functions of the gene alleles, cause things like photosynthetic cells that turned out to be an evolutionary advantage for organisms in the early Earth that had them, and the organisms that had those photosynthetic cells, eventually, had more and more and more as variants began to give them more and more as they had because the more that they had, the more of a survival product gained from that until eventually organ with eyes started popping up.
Yep.
Becoming more and more advanced, and the more and more advanced, like the more beneficial variants, that cause, greater amounts, more, photosynthetic sense point where we have complex eyes like we have today, happens like that. That makes scientific sense. Like there's an explanation for that, but we didn't always have an explanation for that. Like that used to be like the only answer to that could possibly be, like something created eyes. It seems it's too complicated of a concept on its own for us to make sense out of without all the information there. But that's a fallacy, and because that and did happen, and it's happened with everything in the evolutionary chain that's caused things to have unique principles like eyes, limbs, and every single detail of any living creature comes from created, or variant genes that somehow gave an evolutionary advantage, or at least ancestry, in the, to its current form.
Yeah.
And
I guess this is the perfect. This is the perfect
and
setup.
I don't see why that argument wouldn't make sense when it comes to universal, like the reproduction of universe as well. They're like the theory of the Big Bang is it's a singularity, but that what caused the singularity? Yeah, sure, we don't know. One of the theories that I like is that it's a black hole. We're inside of a black hole inside of another universe, and that could be true. We could be inside of a fractal. That's but then we don't. Yeah, like we would never know what the origin cause of the original black hole was that caused the fractal universe to form inside of black holes. Basically would be like even our universe, like the black holes of our universe, could be causing singularities and brand new space-time of their own. That's a theory. Like we don't know that for sure.
You wanna read something that's really interesting that'll make you think. I stay up on everything from. Al?
Yeah. You ever think about how the universe feels empty? What if there's everything comes from that's entirely solid, and there's a black hole eating an infinite density that's being compacted and forming infinite universe through an infinitely growing space through a proto black hole that's spawning fractal universes through black holes. Like that would be a great explanation for it. I don't understand like all the principles behind that. In theory, just like at like a surface level, that wouldn't make sense as an explanation.
Oh shit! Which one's ours? Oh shit! Yeah. So read single piece of string theory. It's a concept. It is a concept that basically states that all electrons aren't quantum. It refutes the standard model that most scientific communities accept. It says that everything is connected to each other. Every electron is connected to each other in the existence through some type of fabric. So it's a good read. You really have to get into it to look at it. Now, I believe I read that in. I feel like it's a neat concept to have, and it's a good thought experiment. I'm still on the verge that the electron exists as the electron. Even if there are other particles there, because we know about other particles. We're finding other rudimentary particles.
Yeah, if there's evidence for and against string theory, and I've never really gotten that.
Well, no, this isn't string theory. This is single piece of thread theory.
Oh, like a single electron?
Like every electron is connected by a single piece of string.
Oh, have you ever heard the theory that every electron is the same electron moving in a different direction all the time, and then just moving back and forth, beginning and the end of the universe?
Yep.
You know,
I've heard-
infinitely.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, quantum entanglement. You know, there's.
Well, quantum entanglement's a different thing. That's
Yeah.
like have their like spin synchronized. Yeah, I mean, interestingly, space is not actually empty space. Like, space itself is an object, you know, with fluctuating energy through it.
Yeah, so, you know, there's the theory that in between the atomic structure, you know, in between the atoms, right? You know, you have a negative atom, a negative antimatter, not negative in the sense of a negative charge, but you have the antimatter that exists as part of that it's a weaker state of energy, a weaker energy, a weaker energy particle.
I understand, by the way, like why people are religious, but the premise to me is like always like, you know, God begins where knowledge and science ends, and I don't like doing that. I feel like that's just like filling in the blank, you know, like a, you know, like the shoe-in like thing. I feel like everything can be in science eventually, and if it can't, it doesn't mean it's not a science or that there's like a mystery.
You know,
I feel like that's just, I feel like it's just drawing in the blank because like we feel like we got to. I don't know.
So I think God and science exist together. I mean, it really does.
You know, well, everybody who believes in God, science, and God exist together.
Oh no, there's the people that
think to not believe in science.
look at it. I have never had to of recent events. I've never had to shake my head and facepalm as bad as I've had, you know, because of what people in Christianity have been coming up with. I'm like,
yeah, I know that, but it's like I feel like no matter what, if anybody, I feel like anybody, like no matter what, if anybody's religion, you know, they pretty much say like, you know, it's just the whole, you know, where science ends, God begins thing. Like, I don't, you know, like everybody who's religious does that. Like no matter like how little, like even if it's not like a strong, like even if you're not a zealot, saying,
yeah,
like even if you're like really like chill, like I don't know, the God thing doesn't fit into the for me. I used to, but I guess what it is I learned skepticism. I just won't let go of skeptical. And
yeah.
like, I used to be really religious, used to be really spiritual. Like I was a pretty hardcore Baptist growing up, and like seeing the way that it affected it, and like made me think. Like I don't know. When I grew up, I immediately my adulthood like realized that I didn't like it. The more I get, and the more I like look at, or I'm like, man. But I feel like it's not, like this doesn't mean like nobody necessarily into it means that they're stupid or anything like that. I think it's just that some people are like so good, like intelligent enough to rationalize anything, no matter how rational it is. But to me, like anything that has to do with any kind of spiritual ideology, completely, it feels irrational and detached from reality. Like, and I don't mean that as an insult. It doesn't feel like it's possible for any spiritual reality to exist. Like with the world that I exist in, doesn't feel like that's part of the equation in any sense. Like maybe, like I feel like there are things that make it seem like there is. We are very emotional creatures, and we think with our, we can rationalize irrational things well. But once I learned like how to tell the difference between like what a rational idea is what a rational feeling is and like a conclusion to come from based on certain things versus what is not a rational conclusion. You know, like what is, you know, what am I connecting the dots, things that are not necessarily connected, that because it's based on it feeling right rather than having enough information make that, you know, to make that judgment true, realistic information. You know, like what, you know, nothing I've ever, like I don't have enough information on any spiritual reality be able to believe and buy into. Like to me that like anything spiritual, existence, souls, anything like that at all, you know, to me in my mind it's fantasy, like it's human invention. Just, I mean, it, and I understand, like, and I have explanation why that stuff comes into like our culture and like why a lot of people believe in it, like why it makes sense for a lot of people to believe in it. But for me to actually like that's the things. I understand the mechanism of belief enough where I'm skeptical of the things that people believe, to the point where I don't actually believe it anymore. And like, you know, and like the whole way it's, you know, that stuff is missed definitely gives me, you know, a much stronger sense, you know, like not wanting to believe that stuff to begin with. You know, and that might be a bit of a biased way, but I try not to let that actually affect the way that I actually think about these too. Because I used to be really nice and demons, souls, spirits. Even when I left Christianity, I still believe, at least like maybe alternate dimension, spiritual reality or something like that. But you know, and I can't discount that because that hypothetically real. But I don't. There's not really a reason to believe that it is true without actual like evidence, and I don't consider subjective experience valid evidence towards, you know, whether or not something truly real or not. Like, you know, if it can't be proved, if it cannot be proved, you know, to be part of contemporary reality outside of my subjective experience, I'm not going to think of it as anything other than an experience. I'm not going to think of like, you know, a spiritual experience, an actual like real, you know, metaphysical experience. You know, it's psychological experience contained within me. Feels very spiritual, but you know, that's just because of how our brains work in my mind. And you know, I've like learned not to like those things, or at least, you know, I try not to conflate them anymore like I used to. That's how I'm at. You know, have you ever heard of Matt Dillahunty?
No.
Okay. He does a podcast called The Atheist Experience. Talks about skepticism, like stuff like that a lot. And he's kind of been a kind of a guiding star in like the way that I think about this stuff, and like really helped me separate, you know, what I do and what I don't believe, you know, and like, you know, not like thinking for me, but like, you know, just basic principles of learning how to rationalize things, you know, and you know what, you know, or how to be skeptical, why to be skeptical. What are behaviors that lead to belief? I'm not explaining it very well, but you know.
I get what you're saying, man.
Yeah. Like I have a lot of like I don't know. A lot of it is an awareness of like reason why people believe in stuff. That also play a factor. Anyways, I'm not trying to.
Oh no! I'm bouncing back between focusing on our conversation and trying not to die. You're like, I keep on forgetting that I'm main tanking. I'm literally like on autopilot. And it's pretty bad that I've gotten so good at the game that I can just autopilot.
I have a question though.
What's that?
For you? Just if there hypothetically, if there was no God, would you want to believe in that God anyway? If there really wasn't, would you still want to believe in it, or does it like help you in life or in certain ways where you?
I mean,
you'd really rather
it's like
have
this. It's like this.
Even
if it didn't exist, I wouldn't believe in it. That's the best way I can answer the question. If it didn't exist, then there would be nothing to believe in at all.
I mean, but people, what about religions that you don't believe in, though, that other people believe in? There are other people that believe in stuff, and they would probably say the same thing, you know.
Yep.
So what makes what you believe in more true than what, like, you know, someone who's Muslim believe in?
My life experiences as a culmination. That means everything that I've studied, everything that I've looked at, everything that I have chosen to believe in.
That's the main thing, right?
It's the
chosen to believe. Remember that line there. That's the most important thing. Everything that you've chosen to believe in, you know, and so the way that we interpret information and the way that we study depends on what we believe in a lot of ways. Unless we're trained to be skeptical of certain types of information, you know, and how to examine information in a non-biased way, we're gonna, we're gonna information.
And, you know, part of believing is admitting that I don't believe other things exist.
Yeah.
You know,
like how many other religions are you going to hell in?
So, you know, it's part of, you know, that's part of it. You know, I have. It is, you know, I can't say even to me it is real because that's not it. How, you know,
think about how like subjective, very like you got to look into the reliable subjective experience, especially ones led by. And I could send you some information, like about how people come, like where you're at. Like, if you want me to,
you can send
like
me information.
It's a video. It's another person talking about their version, and like talking about how they came to, like this, you know, that kind of conclusion too. At a certain point during their time as a believer, and I mean, I used to feel that way about my experience, thinking that. The way that I experienced things was a guiding light to truth, and thinking, that spiritual experiences I had, were like infallible proof that, spiritual reality, the way that I believed it. But, looking back on that, I could see mistakes, errors in my judgment. I was, saying the same things. I don't want to shove any of that into your face.
Yeah.
But willing to talk more about it.
Well, and like I said, it's. I can't say I believe God exists. Because that's not truly believing that God exists. God exists. That's the only way that I can say it. But then again, I can't say God exists, I hate you because I don't agree with the way you've chosen to live your life. No, like even like the core fundamentals of Christianity are like this. There's a song.
What information are you able to give me that would prove to me that God exists? Prove to anybody else?
Oh man.
Information that would prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, like actual like.
Here's a story.
Like not. Okay, so here before you start, I want to say that anecdotal evidence is not proof. Anecdotal evidence and experiences, those don't qualify as actual proof. Those Those qualify as, you know, an emotionally, you know, or those qualify as emotionally involved experiences that led to a conclusion, you know, that, you know, based on.
Do you know what pareidolia is?
Actually, no. I've heard the word. I don't know what it.
Let me make sure. Pareidolia. It is the tendency for perception to impose a meaningful interpretation on a nebulous stimuli, usually visual. It's the one that sees an object, pattern, or meaning when there's none. Like, you ever stare up at like the popcorn ceiling on your, or the popcorn on your ceiling, right? And then like you can see objects in it, or constellations. Constellations are constellations are. Yeah,
that right there, like one of the number one causes for superstition. It's that behaviorism. That's a survival skill. I didn't know what that was called. I'm aware of what that is. I just know what that word. That's the word is what described that phenomenon.
Yeah, and pareidolia.
That's a survival and not die.
Yeah, pareidolia is something that can discount quite a bit of anecdotal or personal experience. But I have had experiences where I cannot discount it as pareidolia because it is too coincidental. It is too perfect to really explain in any other scientific way. So, let's see.
Other than maybe that you're. Well, there definitely. I'm going to say that there. I would challenge that. Say that there is other ways to explain it. Science.
Yeah, so
I would assert that. I would bet on that money, a lot of money, all my money.
Yeah.
That there is definitely scientific. Based on mainly the way that the brain works, psychology and brain chemistry, and. But go on though. I want to hear what you have. I want to hear your story though.
So, so pareidolia, right? Like a pareidolia could be this, because a lot of people will give credit. Oh, okay, I went through cancer and God healed me. Well, he did, but let's look at this. Did he heal you by touching you, and then your cancer just disappeared, or did he heal you by the fact that there were influences in people's lives that caused them to become a doctor? Those doctors become very knowledgeable about cancer, and those doctors executed that knowledge on your cancer, and that's how you were healed. That could be, that could be mistaken. But there's some direct examples. So I'll start a story. Did I ever tell you a story about the dude that tried to kill me?
So wait, when you mean mistaken, do you mean like it was a coincidence and not really a God-led thing that the doctors happen to be there? Like, because we live in a first world country that has doctors and nurses, you have health insurance, and you catch cancer early, and get it figured out early enough, and, manage to send it into remission and have it, appear.
Yeah.
Like, so, I wouldn't say that it's an act of God. I would say that's an act of being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and that's that's how some people say it. So, like so everything in a sense is connected and is resolved in some way or another. But a lot of people will. So there's a couple factions of Christianity, right? There is the Latter-day Saints. These people will not allow any blood transfusions, any organ transfusions, because they believe that it'll make their bodies impure. However, they're basing their views off of, they're basing their reviews off of their particular flavor of Christianity, and really, realistically, like that. To me, as a human being, that's wrong, and as a Christian, that's also wrong, because there's no scriptural evidence that says if I put blood of somebody else's blood inside your body, you're gonna go to hell. I would think
that the act of communion makes that crystal clear.
yeah, but there are people. I had a friend who her parents made her carry a card when she was a teenager, And that card says, please no blood transfusions, please no organ transplants. And they wouldn't be organ donors, right? I believe that an intelligent God, the intelligent God created everything to make sense, including medicine. And, that to not take a medical treatment because they believe God is going to protect them from everything, I believe that's stupid. And here's why. God's a God of common sense. If you light yourself on fire in faith, that's stupid. God doesn't want people to light themselves on fire. He loves people.
Do you believe? Is hell a real thing in your beliefs?
Yeah.
And what causes people to go to hell? Like, who goes to hell? And
everybody that is born into the curse of the original sin, which was Adam and Eve ate the apple. Everybody is destined to go to hell unless they accept Jesus as their savior. I have to say it as plain a fact like that. There's no way I can make it sound like nice or.
And in your mind, that makes more sense than evolution.
Well, so I'm really careful about.
I know. I mean, I feel like I'm setting the trap, but then I just got to be blatant, with it. That's so I really think that blatantly. I'm like, how does that, make
So there's
sense?
people that believe in what's called intelligent creation, or they believe in certain things and this is where I got to be careful because, I really do believe in the scripture. I believe it's the real living word of God, and I believe it's, it's there for other people to love other people, not to persecute other people. Because that's what it is. God, even Jesus, right? He didn't hang out with all the cool kids. There's so many stories about all the high and mighty priests and stuff like that were doing their stuff and being all high and mighty. And, those people were complaining and oh, if you really are the Son of God, why are you hanging out with hookers and prostitutes and thieves and stuff like that? And, it's like this. What's the point of just hanging out in this pious circle? And a lot of people that are Christians nowadays do that. They create this bubble where it's just this internalized community. But realistically, the whole point of our mission is to, help other people come to the point that, God exists. He loves you. He sent Jesus to die, and you accept that, you get eternal salvation. It's not the point to make people bad or persecute them or anything like that. So let me get back to my point about the science stuff. So I'm really careful to make suppositions that I cannot directly say without a shadow of a doubt that are in scripture. So I'm not.
I don't understand, but it's all. Because to me, it's to me from the outside, who grew up in it, it looks like it looks like any other religion, and I would describe any religion as an oversized cult. And at the end of the day, what I would call Christianity, if I had to describe it to an alien being that came to the earth, I would describe Christianity as the biggest cult in the world that worships its undead Messiah by ritualistically consuming its flesh and blood and asking for it not to torment them for eternity by accepting it inside of them so that way it can influence their will and their desire that way they can spread its will onto other people until as much of the world carries its will as possible. So that way they, believe that they are going to exist even after they dust and persist for eternity, even though we're mortal beings. The thing that we do.
So
we're really fucked up. I'd say that we're a really fucked up that will make up anything to avoid just admitting to ourselves that we're just mortal and we're
Yeah.
going to die, and there's nothing that we can do about it. So we just kind of come up with a really convoluted story, that convinces people, oh, hey, we're going to live forever. There's something more to us. We're not, monkeys. We're not just apes. We don't want to believe that. Like, but at the end of the day, exactly what really complex do, and that's how I would describe religion in general, Christianity in particular, to an alien they visit. That I would describe.
Yeah. Well,
It's a death in a way. You worship
Yeah.
a dead guy. You worship a guy that they believe died, rose again. And like, here's another question: are you aware of the part of the resurrection? We're not just Jesus rose up from the grave, but all the priests and like the preachers and whatnot rose up from their graves as well and started walking around the city. Or is that a part of the resurrection you're familiar with? I asked my folks that a while back, and they were clueless to what I was talking about.
Yeah, so I'm
And I
not
don't
familiar
even-
with that. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah.
With that item, because when Jesus was resurrected, right? Like, in the Bible,
Jesus wasn't the only one that are resurrected in the Jesus story. In the Bible, like in the Bible that you have, sure, if you have like King James, NIV, like any of the like contemporary, like Baptist or like contemporary Christian Bibles, or Judeo-Christian Bibles, like that's a part of it, and very there. Like, yeah, Jesus was one of the ones that.
Where is it at though? That's what I'm unaware, because
let me look it up because I want to say because that's a
because that
catches a lot of people off guard.
That almost sounds apocryphal.
Yeah, it does, but it's actually in there, and I looked it up. So okay. Rising. I'm googling it right now. No Discord. I'm not clicking on.
Yeah. The biggest problem that I have is like, because of other people, I have when I'm doing my sharing of my faith, I'm trying to share God with somebody. I'm just dealing with, there are so many groups out there, and it's like this: human beings will leverage anything for power over another person. It's in our nature. That's part of our biological thing. That's part of how things live, because you got a better chance to live in the higher up on the food chain, and the more tools you have to your the more tools you have to your arsenal, right? Like, tigers are really good at surviving because they can kill other things that want to kill them. Humans are really good at surviving because we have relatively decent sized brains, and we while we can't fist fight a tiger to death, we have enough knowledge to make guns, and then I could use those guns to equalize the tiger equation, right? So people will use things like God is a set of claws to make themselves feel better, and or to put somebody else down, so that they are, rather than elevating themselves, they're just trying to pull somebody down to their level, so they're the same by comparison, from visual sight, right? If that makes sense. But on the scientific stuff, right? Like, like I say, I would be really careful. I'm really careful about anything in scripture, saying anything or making any suppositions that I don't crystal clearly know. So it's a preface to any time I quote this, because I've quoted it more than once. It's, God's an intelligent God. He's not going to create a world that didn't make sense, right? For our world to exist, a lot of stuff, and to me, and this is the part where I say, I cannot scripturally prove this, so I cannot say this is fact, but I can say this is my theory. there's
The world made a lot more sense to me when I stopped being a Christian. I started just looking through it through the lens of science and looking at it through biology, and everything makes more sense. In fact, biology really makes sense without evolution.
well,
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, just
Man.
look at how everything exists, right? Like there's things that we know how they exist, or we have a damn good idea how we exist, and no other ways to say that it doesn't exist. Matter exists, the earth exists, the universe exists. For the universe to exist with its current structure, it would have had to exist for bajillions of years, right? That makes sense because it is valid. There's the guys that fight carbon dating and whatnot and say that dinosaurs are a lie, but what's gas made of? It's made up of dead dinosaurs. So
let me read you what I found, what I was looking for.
What scripture is it?
Okay, it's Matthew 27:50 through 54. It says, when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook, the rocks split, and the tombs broke open. The bodies of many holy people who had died there were raised to life. Let me read that again. The bodies of many holy people who had died there were raised to life. Hold on, they came out of the tombs after Jesus' resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared to many people. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that had happened, they were terrified and exclaimed, "Surely he was the Son of God." See, I mean, dude, that's the zombie apocalypse happening in the book of Matthew.
Yes, and it did, and it most definitely did happen, and it scared the hell out of a lot of people, literally, because it was proof and it was a sign. Now, here's the context of that too, and I'm not going to twist it in any way. Prior to Jesus's death and resurrection, like there was this place called Abraham's bosom, and that's where the Jewish people would go to when they die, Abraham's bosom. But what happened is when Jesus came about, that was part of the resurrection, was them coming up, and of course afterwards they were taken away to heaven and whatnot, but it was raising them up from the dead from Abraham's bosom, coming to hang out with him in heaven. That's the context of the verse right there. Yeah, I do know about that. I
just don't understand how anybody could believe that that's actual stuff that actually happened in the contemporary reality and that we exist in. It's mystical. It sounds like some Final Fantasies.
Final Fantasy, like even Final Fantasy. Hey, have you ever read the Mahabharata?
I mean, yeah, Final Fantasies has influence from like actual life, truths and legend stuff. But
probably 70-80% of Final Fantasy is based off of the Mahabharata, which is the Indian book of creation and life and everything. And there's a lot of influence in the game from the Mahabharata. I've started reading the Mahabharata because if anything, it's a context for where things came from, like Garuda, Suparna, Chirata, talking about them and their existence, Bahamut, Ifrit, Ramu, where everything come from, and they take a lot of inspiration from that book, and a lot of inspiration from a lot of worldviews too. A lot of cultures, and I think it's absolutely wonderful that they do, because there's a lot of richness in those things. But the Mahabharata, I would challenge you to read that at some point. Now it is a challenging read. Like I started doing it on audiobook, and it's like 40-50 hours long on audiobook.
So my question specifically though is like, I know you're aware of like other religions. Why specifically like the Jesus story? Like, like why that one? Like of all the other like Like, 'cause I get why people believe in God. Like, I can understand that more easily than I can understand like why somebody would believe in like a specific God with like
Yeah.
you know like specific rules that you have to like like accepting God into your heart and getting baptized and like
Well,
that
because
kind of stuff like that.
I mean-
that to me is like
yeah,
that. Why is that like a part of life? Some like to me that is just like that sounds so out there and like I was born like raised into that belief system, but like at this point in my life, like it really does seem like so genuinely just beyond out there. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It is such a mismatch. Like it doesn't like that frame of like view doesn't fit the world that I actually observe around me. I don't get how anybody could say that like that's what you got to do in life. That's the most important thing in life, except ask Jesus into your heart. Like how is that like there's no the only warning about like needing to do that book that you may or may not read depending on what culture you're born into. In the world, in the country with the world's biggest population, that religion is completely banned. And I would be like, God is an all-powerful being, truly looking out for people of this world. Why is the country with the highest population, his word is not even allowed to be in, otherwise you're arrested? Like, why doesn't God have enough influence over the world and the rulers of this world? Because, you always hear Christian people saying, like, oh, God chose our leaders. God chose Donald Trump to be president. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, but you didn't choose anything, whatever his name is.
I can let you know. I don't think
Did he
that
put the Communist Party in like, did he put the CCP in charge? Why do you do that?
Personally, I don't believe that Trump was put in place, specifically by God. That's,
But if God has that much influence, if God's all powerful, and he can influence, if he can influence that stuff, like, his word, like, why would he let his word stand in between any person, like, why would he let, like, a single person on the planet not have access to it? Why are there people who just born and die and never know about it throughout their entire life, even through adulthood, outside of, like, maybe having heard about it?
Yeah.
Because it seems like the only people who believe in it are people who are born into a culture and then raised into it, except for like a select few people who are, introduced to it through other means, like, brought into an in-group where they like,